Sometimes life just needs to have a little bit more fun in it, so you do things that are fun, even if it's tomatoes. Hey, I'm John. Welcome to Everyday Harvest with John. Most days you'll find me with some dirt on my hands and some sauce on my shirt. Let's jump into it. Today we are talking about sauce. When I say sauce, I mean the good sauce. This is the sauce that a couple weeks ago when I made my last batch, my daughter, 2 years old, said, more, yummy daddy, yummy daddy. It made me so happy. So today we're going to be having and making some of the sauce. So as you can see, we got a bunch of tomatoes here. I've got a few of the big ones that I like and a bunch of small ones. Honestly, rule of thumb for me when in the kitchen, use what you have. And if you don't have what you really need, you can probably do without or substitute it. So today we're going to be using a lot of tomatoes, an onion, some garlic, olive oil. We might throw some salt and pepper in there, but this is what we're doing. I love tomato sauce. It is literally one of my favorite things to make, to eat, and I love the variety that you can get with tomatoes. So today we've got a variety of them. A lot of these ones are from different tomato plants, different gardens, honestly. This one here is from my friend Dave. Thank you, Dave. As well as the other paste style tomato. We got some other normal classic ones. We got a bunch of cherries, and let's be honest, if it's the sun sugar, it's gonna be delicious. It's one of my favorite tomatoes. I made a mistake a couple years ago. I made a sauce with completely just with these cherry tomatoes, and of course a few of the red ones too. But it was such a pain. So rule of thumb, always have the little ones with you, but have a lot more bigger ones if possible. So let's get to washing. All right, so the next step in our process is going to be getting the stuff prepped to cook. One of my favorite ways, honestly, is to roast these tomatoes. A lot of people will prep their tomatoes and then just boil them so the skin comes off. I'll do the same thing, but without the boil and throwing it in the oven. So let's get started. I'll pick one of these lovely ladies. Usually for most of the tomatoes, we're talking right down the center. It works great. And then we just place them on the pan. We're gonna roast them all in this pan. Hopefully it'll all be one pan today. Otherwise you're gonna make more than I actually need today. I put a little bit of olive oil on there. If you want organic, go for it. I bought it on accident because I was not paying attention. But I got the right size, which is what I wanted. So we're gonna place these just on the pan here. Cut side down. We're going to add some more oil to this. Use whatever type you really want, but at the end of the day, you use what you got. One of the parts that you got to do here is make sure, especially on the big tomatoes, that you're getting a little bit of oil on them. We want these to be able to cook a little bit to get that roast in there, as well as have enough that we don't burn the whole house down. Just kidding. I've never done that. And last two things. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. My, of course, cheap versions of all these. All right, that's it, my friends. Next step, I'm gonna throw it in the oven. So here we go. All right, see you later, tomatoes. See them starting to crisp up just a little bit. That's what we're looking for. I'm gonna turn the broiler on just for a minute and let that add a little bit more to it, especially for those onions. And we're gonna call it good. All right, so here we are. We're gonna start doing the next step. You'll notice I'm changing clothes. It's the next day. Had a lot of family stuff come up, so I had to put this on pause. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take off the skins of the tomatoes and get rid of the skins, or if you wanna keep them, you can dehydrate them, use it as a powder. That's great as well. We could do that for a separate video sometime. We're gonna put all the juicy stuff in the pot. We're gonna put the skins in the trash, compost if you got it. At this point in time, we're also going to add a few seasonings just to make all of this awesome. Now, ideally, you're gonna use some fresh herbs. For me today, well, I went out to the garden and my daughter ran, so I forgot to grab basil. Oops. So today we're just using some Italian seasonings. Once we get that in there, we're gonna mix it a little bit. And we're gonna just leave it there for now. We're gonna add a little bit of pepper. It's gotta start somewhere. And again, it's a lot of sauce. So a lot is gonna be spread out pretty good. And last but not least, we're gonna do some salt. But I kinda need both hands for that. After we get that blended, I'm gonna add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Really, I like to add just a little bit of acidic flavor to it. Of course, balsamic vinegar is super sweet, so it's really not that acidic. I've used lemon in the past, which is also great. That's also a great flavor for it. So whatever you want to add to it, but adding a little bit of vinegar or something of that nature is going to be awesome for your sauce. Now, if you want to do your own blender, take this in batches and do it that way, that is awesome. I've done that before. It's more of a pain for me. I like to just mix it in the pot. Allows for more time to test and taste it as I go. So after we blend it, we'll do some testing. Now the goal while I'm doing this is just to get it as thin as possible. Chunky's great. That's not what I want. So, I'm trying to get all of this in there. Okay, something disconnected there. That came out somehow. Never had this happen. Cool. Troubleshooting on the job. That's good. Might be time for a good immersion blender. This was a cheap one I got at Winco. Ouch. Many years ago. So, it's very possible it's time to get one that really works. Because that's about as done as this is going to be. I'm going to put this off to the side and do something different. Not bad. Actually, not bad at all. I'm going to add just a dash of olive oil. Something about olive oil, it just warms my heart. Makes everything feel good, and especially tastes good. And we're going to do 2 dashes of some balsamic vinegar. Just going to spread those out a little bit. And we're going to do some mix and mix. Now, as I always say, it's great to get some sauce on your shirt, some dirt on your hands. And I did that today. Some of those tomatoes, when I was squishing them, taking out off the skin, oh, they just burst. Some of the most satisfying was you squeeze it and it just, all the juice came out. It was great. Some were in the wrong direction, of course, but several of them just came out as they were, just straight down. It was fantastic. All right, let's try this now. All right, what I really want to throw in here is some basil, but I already said my daughter made me go chase after her, so I didn't get some basil. But we're gonna do one more thing of balsamic vinegar. A healthy-ish one. Each of those is gonna be about a teaspoon, so use that in consideration. We're making about a half a pot of this right now. Gonna add a little more olive oil. And I'm gonna add some pepper now. As I said in a previous video, or maybe this is the first one, I always like to add salt at the very end. It's got the potential to enhance or overwhelm, and I want to get the rest of the flavors nice and balanced before I enhance it just a little bit. All right, all mixed in. One more taste. All right. Now, one thing I've done in the past, and it really just depends on the ratio of tomatoes that you got, is adding some sugar into this. A lot of people will do that. I was using brown sugar frequently for it. Give it a very nice sweet taste to it. But with the type of tomatoes that I have, especially those little orange ones, 10 of those just come out so sweet. So I don't really need a lot of sugar added to this. It's already a good tasting sauce. We're gonna add a couple rounds of salt, make some enhancement. Now, of course, you gotta remember, that was a lot of turns, but it's a lot of sauce. So it's gonna be barely any when we mix it all through. That's good. A little bit more Italian herbs because I don't have that basil I wanted. Could use a little bit of oregano too, but you know, don't have that either. A little more salt. Okay, that's good. It's great on all sorts of things. The chicken parm, whether we're doing just a normal pasta spaghetti, throwing in some meatballs or other types of sauce. If you want to start with this and make a bolognese, or however you actually say that word, it's a really good start. And again, the reason why I love this sauce so much is because of the mixing of the flavors of all the tomatoes. It just adds so much to it. You get the sweetness of certain ones. You get the little bit of tang to certain ones. To be honest, most tomatoes aren't tangy, but you get those different profiles that are all just a little different. I'm super excited to be able to grow again this year. Having 2 cherry tomatoes this year was awesome. Being able to pull some tomatoes from some other friends' gardens and from our church garden has just made it so I could create a couple batches of this, and it's been awesome. This will create about 4 pints worth of sauce for me. I did about a little bit more than this in my last round, and I got about 6 of it, so I had about the 4 for it. And I'm just gonna let this simmer for a little bit more now. I like to let it reduce just a little bit because that, of course, will just make the flavors more prominent and it'll make it pop just a little bit more. So I hope you've had a good time, and we'll check this out in just a minute. All right, well guys, that's it for today. The next things I'm gonna do, since my immersion blender died, after this cools down, I'm gonna throw it in my normal blender. Gonna mix it just a little bit more. Got some good chunks of onions in there that I just wanna smooth out. It tastes really good. I encourage you to try to do something similar. It's gotta taste good if you're gonna eat it. So make it yourself and have a good time with it. Well, we got our hands dirty picking some tomatoes for this. We definitely got some sauce on my shirt. So thanks for being with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Keep it rooted, keep it hungry. Bye.